Seattle showed well. The fan base came up big. I honestly didn't care who came through, but it is great to see your stars, the guys that are being paid, the guys that are being marketed, the guys you are sort of taught to count on because they're just a step above everybody, come through when the light is the brightest. I mean, we've seen throughout the history of baseball tons of players that can excel in the regular season. They get under that spotlight of the playoffs and they shrink. It's not for everybody. And you're seeing, especially game one, the team had 6 total hits and they all came from Julio and Cal. There wasn't another player in that lineup that had a hit, which is great for those guys. It was fun to see Julio get that home run and come up with 2 other base knocks and Cal do that. But you got to have more than that, and you got more on Sunday. Certainly, they came through. Julio with what turned out to be the game winner. It was amazing to see that. Polanco, massive. That was just massive. And we were talking about X factors and somebody beyond Julio and Cal. Who's going to step up? Who needs to step up? And my guy was Polanco. I said Polanco, and I thought maybe Camzone could come through. He didn't. Need to see Gino get going. They need him. But yeah. It was phenomenal to see, and just can't overstate how huge that win was. Guys stepping up when it mattered most. I mean, who knows what they feel like right now after all the innings they pitched. I mean, you're talking about guys with career highs in innings and appearances in that bullpen, and they were used heavily throughout the season. And they just went back-to-back nights. I mean, you got multiple innings. You had 3 innings out of Munoz because Saturday night he goes 2 innings, comes back the next night, and he's just nails. And the same for Spire. Spire looks almost unhittable out there. I mean, he just dominates, whether it's a righty or a lefty. So, your leverage guys coming up big, to say the very least, in these situations is huge because, as we've seen, runs are at a premium. You're facing the best pitchers from the opposition. Chances of you blowing the doors off of them and putting up a 10 spot, not likely. You're not seeing it that often. Certainly the Blue Jays have hammered the Yankees, but and the Dodgers did it to the Reds in the wild card round. But for the most part, you're seeing close scores. You certainly saw it in these 2 games. So every run means the world. These guys don't have any slack coming out of that bullpen. And to me, every inning, every pitcher that comes out of there, it's a leverage situation because you're going to have a quicker hook with your starters. You're not going to let them try to work it out. As soon as there's trouble, as soon as you see a favorable matchup for the bullpen, you're going to go to it. That's playoff baseball. So whether it's Bazardo coming in, whether it's Vargas, whether it's Spire, Brasher, Munoz, that's leverage, and they've got to get it done. They don't have any room for error. I thought Kirby looked good in game 1. I thought he looked like he was on his game. We know what happened with Kerry Carpenter. That was a situation where maybe the hook wasn't quick enough, because of the fact that Carpenter's done well against Kirby historically. That was his 3rd time through the lineup. So you felt like, are we pushing your luck here? And Spire was warmed up and ready to go in the bullpen. Personally, this isn't second guessing. I was saying it there in the press box, like, why aren't they going to Spire here? Give credit to Carpenter. He hit a pitch that was, I think Kirby executed the pitch he wanted to throw. He was able to turn it. I mean, that was a good, probably 3-4 inches above the strike zone. He got a pitch up, which is where he wanted it. Maybe he wanted it up a little higher, I guess, but Carpenter turned on it and made it count. So that was a rough way for it to go. But I thought I thought Kirby pitched really well. Castillo was a weird outing because he was effective in that he only allowed 1 hit, didn't allow a run, but he really had no command to start the game. He threw over 50 pitches in the first 2 innings. He walked 4, struck out 3. So you look at the line and go, 4 2/3, 4 walks. Yeah, it wasn't an A game for him, but his ability to grind and find a rhythm. I think he retired after that. He retired 8 or 9 in a row, found a nice rhythm, and then they yanked him in the 5th, deservedly so. I mean, it was the right move to bring Spire in that situation, and it worked. But good on him to find a way. That's what great teams, that's what great players do. When it's not there for whatever reason, things aren't clicking, things aren't working, you find a way to grind it out. And Luis did that in a big way. It was bigger. I kept saying all week, it's going to be bananas. This building's going to explode. It was even louder than I anticipated, especially the first night. Saturday night was off the rails. I mean, they were loud. They were roaring. And And everybody from the opposing side was kind of taken aback by it. Like, man, I've been in some loud buildings. I've not heard anything like this. The next night, Sunday, it was a little different. I think anybody that's watching this that went to both games would back me up on that. They were loud. Certainly they were loud. It's over 47,000 people. There was some there was some apprehension there. It was just a different vibe to start the game. It was sort of quiet enthusiasm, not quiet, but not quite what it was, that frenzy that it was in the first night. And then obviously once, Polanco with the home run, then the second home run, they exploded. And then the Julio double. I mean, Cal with the double, Julio with the run scoring double. Massive. I mean, the lid just blew off the place. So look, they were talking about it on Fox. The commentators were talking about it. Seattle showed well. The fan base came up big, and they showed really well. It was incredibly loud. You got to get some depth out of Logan. I'm hoping he can give you 5 solid, maybe getting greedy, get 6 out of him. And I think Game 3 is crucial. I think you got to get Game 3. You don't want to go Game 4 on the road with that potentially being the deciding game. So I think that this one means the world. They got to go out there and get it. I think they got to score first. Just put some doubt in the minds of Detroit, who were in a tailspin to end the season. You just beat their ace again. So now you're going to see the lesser of the rotation. That doesn't mean they're not good, and they certainly can be effective, but you sort of conquered the beast, if you will. And maybe Detroit's feeling like, man, that's our best shot, and they just beat them. If you can jump on them early, that goes a long way. I think it really does. That's a team that strikes out a ton, and I could see them, if they get behind, maybe they start forcing, maybe they start chasing even more than they already do in their at-bats. So it's crucial. It's a crucial game, and hopefully Logan can give you his A stuff and get you through 5, maybe even 6, because this bullpen's been great for the most part, but they've been relied upon a lot. So that's what I'm hoping for. Jump on them early, get some length out of Logan, get Game 3. Game 3 is crucial.